So, in the context of the bigger series of the advancement against S4-X, of which probably some already uploaded, 2 out of the 5 games, both of them on Swamp, did not want to get recorded by OBS for some reason, and I didn't notice that until the game was over. So, I'm going to give you replay costs for those 2 games. The tactic is not exactly the same, although we are on the same side, and the games do end up playing out a bit similarly. But I'm first going to hop into map tactic for this one real quick, and explain you what I'm going to do. Quickly, don't worry, and then we're going to hop straight into the game. And but before I do that, let's have a look at the lineup real quick from us, and then so we have 4 113s, 2 50Bs, 2 Crown Wagons, only 5 because the guy didn't have anything or something, 3 Bat Chats, a line of 7, and an SDB and a Conqueror. You might be like, that's really low in mediums, but I'll explain you why in just a second. So here we are on map tactic. I hope this is all working perfectly fine. We are starting from the north, as you might have noticed. For the plan here is pretty simple. The 4 113s are gonna go like this, and then either like this or like this, and rush under here, this general area. Whether exactly here, here, or here in the end, we will see. First of all, rush under here. We have the 2 Crown Wagons, which are gonna be able to go here and just be constantly able to support. Like, the 2 Crown Wagons are just really nice because whatever the fuck they're gonna have here, they're gonna be able to shoot and not get penned because they are that OP, right? The 50Bs are there for added firepower, considering the fact that they're way better snipers and have way more mobility, but they don't have the staying power of the Crown Wagons. So for example, if the enemies would also rush in, the Crown Wagons would, like, for example, like this or something, the Crown Wagons would be really nice here to bully them all the time, and the 50Bs could either peek from time to time or maybe even go flanking or whatever. So we're gonna have the Crown Wagons here, the 50Bs also here sniping to support the 113s in case they're trying to poke here and shoot us when we rush in. We're gonna have a Bat Chat climbing up here, I think, to spot this or something like that. And a Bat Chat going over here. Something like that at least. I think even just down here spotting and then a guy climbing up here or something. I don't even know. STB in the 140 because I wanted to have 2 mediums who are going to be also sniping from here or here. We're going to have at least 1 sniper here anytime, as well as the E5. And then we have 1 last Bat Chat who's going to be spotting this flank. The idea is that we can give up all of this part without any issues, because with the E5, Crown Wagons, and 50Bs, this whole down position here in general is extremely hard to push. However, at the same time, these guys are not really pushable because they are, they can't get pushed from here, they can't get pushed from here because we have our 113s, and they can't really push here either because if we see them doing that, first of all, we can push their base over here with the 113s really quickly, and the 50Bs and Crown Wagons from here can quickly from here get shots on the cross, and that way we have that locked down. So normally this is kind of barred from them, especially once we see this setup. And then we're just going to move up from there and just go into the game. So, whoops, that's not what I wanted. That is what I wanted. Let's go. Let's go forwards also by 10 seconds, 20 seconds. That way you don't have to watch all that stuff. And see what we're exactly doing. So we see that the enemies, obviously this is the first time I see the enemy load up is when the battle starts loading, in case you guys aren't aware of that. So once the 30-second timer starts, I think is when I first see the enemy setup. So I see they also have 6 113s, and I'm considering they might be trying to counter rush, but I'm not too worried about that, because I figure that our 50Bs and Crown Wagons should be able to farm the hell out of them in that case, and our 4 113s against 6 should still be able to put up some kind of a fight. So as you see, we've got 1 Bat Chat moving here to spot the cross immediately. We've got 1 Bat Chat going all the way north to do some spotting here. We've got 1 Bat Chat to spot, basically if they push down here, he's gonna get a spot. The E5 started following us and then drove back because he was smart enough to at some point realize he's not a 113. And the RT's already over here, which means he can quickly run away. So basically, although it looks like we're only got the middle of the map, with this tactic we immediately have basically the entire map control if the enemy doesn't contest it. And in this case they don't. This position here, let me do this well. Once we get under here, under this ridge line, between this peaking here, hold down, be it with a Crown Wagon or with a 113, and this position here, which are both, well, one of them is always going to be RT safe as they only have 1 RT, first of all, so that's really cool, and are both completely supported by this, aka there's like no way they can shoot you without getting shot back from these people. Allows you to get massive spots, not only like up to here, right? We already have control over this part of the map, right? Correct? And spots even of this part. But thanks to having this ridgeline here, so the ridgeline right in front of us, just being able to poke with our turrets there, we have nearly complete vision even of this entire area, which allows us to completely corner them in a corner of the map. they can choose where they stand, right? They could all be standing like here, they could be standing more like here, they could even be standing all around here, kind of, yes, or even maybe doing some kind of a mixture of having like tanks, 5 tanks here, 2 tanks here, 3 tanks here, 5 tanks here or something, right? But in any case, we're going to be able to find out very quickly. And once we got that knowledge, we can decide how we want to move up and how we want to cut them up. So basically the idea is we get map control with the 113s. The 113s are not killable. Lol, rip 907. Because we have all that fucking shit to support us. We have map control thanks to 3 batchets and very good tank positioning. I also want to point out right now that we have a 113 poking here down at the corner the entire time. He's going to be doing this all game long, if he's not wrong. That way we've got additional layer of spawns onto this, which allowed the batchet to run away from here also. RT vision is cool thingy, right? Yeah. Then we should always have 113 here. That's Cookies. He's there for most of the game, so he's doing this corner. Then you have me right here. Going to be doing this corner, and that gives us all the spots we need. And then later on, we can also move a 4th 113. So it's perfect. We've got 4, because 1, 2, 3. Then you could do 4th one up on this ramp or up on this corner to be able to spot down here, and of course up here. I hope that this view isn't too vomity for you guys. Let's go back to normal. Can I? No? Okay. And I'm actually gonna speed up a bit also, because believe it or not, there's actually not that much that happens right now. And I figure it'd be more interesting for you. I hope that doesn't make the replay lag, aka the video. Or at least not too much. If it does, tell me. So you can see now I'm starting to relocate over. I'm telling someone else to take my spot, but I think I don't really get hurt. That's just OMNI things. Let's slow down a bit. So at this point we've killed a guy. We know they have 2 people here. And basically right now, I've got like 2-3 considerations. Actually no, we've got 2 options we're discussing with OMNI. First of all was pushing down, like rushing this, pushing down here. Be it just with these 3 mediums and me, or with more. And the other option is basically these 2 guys are pretty low, the batchet's full life, but the 907 is pretty low. And we could, especially if we had like these batchets over there, rush in with 3 batchets and kill them. I only like figured that out once I already sent the batchets which were here all the way there. Or actually that came from someone else in TeamSpeak. Which is why I don't decide to go for that. Like if my batchets were still there, I would go for that. At this point, I believe we can push this. So I decided to move up over here. I want to see what I can get for spots. I believe that this position should be able to give me like some really nice map control over the place. As you can see, I keep trying to use the RT strike, but like I can actually use it there. So there we go, that's that. But then there's that batchet in that corner, and I think he honestly scared me way more than he should have. Like, if they would have actually put like something really annoying to kill back there, it would have been way more of an issue, like in maybe an E5, 113, an E3, something like that. We could have just rushed like with 2 batchets at that batchet, and then, you know, with like 2 113 or something in there. But I was kind of super worried about getting stuck in a crossfire in the open somewhere, especially since OMNI players really like to change from playing really well and playing like they do not have a brain cell. So that's why at this point we're really undecided and we're really not doing much. As you see now, we're putting the batchets back. I'm putting it on the other side of the map because I figure we might as well push that. And also, these are actually small detail. But a small detail which might make a difference, like for all you warriors out there. I don't know if you noticed, if not, go back in the video a little bit. You notice I get these 3 mediums over, batchet, 907. And they're all driving over here because they're ready to push this. And then I send the 140 up here. You don't hear it because obviously no TeamSpeak yet. But I send the 140 up here, so he's got higher angle elevation shots from this into the balcony up here and into this. So they can't all, like, for example, if we're all down here, right? They can just go here and peek down on us with, let's say, 907s and just rape us. If we have a 140 up here, he can keep farming them, and same, he can keep farming here. And that warrior is a kind of little things you have to watch out for. How do I get a crossfire? How do I get that extra angle? Which tank is the best there? How much micromanaging do I need to do of my players? So I guess super short 48 guide intro. Although I guess I might even put this into that playlist. By the way, while the game is a bit slower, please make sure you subscribe and like the video if you actually do that. And yeah, I would also really appreciate if you deactivate adblock, because that way, like every 10th time you click on one of my videos, I get a part of a cent, which makes me feel like I can order a pizza a couple times a year. Anyway, we managed to push over here with STB and Kranwagen. They're running away, so we managed to push that, gaining even more map control. And right now the plan is actually to push these guys under here to get some more spotting going using the Kranwagen turret and even more support. And I'm still trying to figure out how to break it. I'm still, like, admission of my own fault, yeah? I'm overly worried by this guy, And I'm also overly worried by not knowing exactly how much they have here. I mean, like, it could be a trap here, right? Especially since, I don't know if that game was played before or after. I think after. So I'm not going to spoil here. Yeah, that's what's going on. But I decided at this point... Okay, so yeah, let's pause it again. So, after a lot of debating and me not doing anything, what's the next stage of the plan? The plan is now, I have decided I do actually want to push this, just that batch at 140 and just me wasn't enough. So I decided to get the other two 113s over. I didn't realize that Comic Cookies was a one-shot. I would have rather had, like, Martin here. But it doesn't really matter. They're going to push down here. The batchets are going to rush into this batchet. I'm going to get the higher ground and keep controlling the 113s back together with this guy. These guys are at the same time ordered to, well, these guys mainly, put pressure on the other side, so that the enemy can't actually relocate, or if they do, we can just slow down on this side and then get complete map control here and stick them all in the crossfire. I'm trying to get spots over there, and you can see our guys get going. As you see, we're down to 3 minutes 30, so score is still only 3-0, which is a good start, but when you start rushing in, it's really, really easy to start losing people. Come on, 907 turret. Anyway, push starts. There's our guy there. I'm poking... Another thing. Players, wallets, doesn't matter, right? I have high HP and I'm a heavy. We are engaging in a push. They have a bunch of high DPM tanks here. I am purposefully standing in the open to take a bunch of damage I can take, right? I won't stand here once I'm under 1000 HP, then I'll be back like side scraping here, or at 1000 HP. But by doing that, those guys, they peek for me, they try to get positions to shoot me, they focus on me. Our mediums are able to rush in, kill their batchat, there's no crossfire, and they're not in position. So that's how heavies, you can support a push, and that's how you're meant to support a push if you have HP. Literally by standing in the open and getting shot at. It's not randoms. It's competitive. Use your HP while you have it, and then when you're low life, go back. Anyway, managed to get a shot to that guy. I decided to put some pressure. Since the time is so short, I really want to get cap pressure going, so I tell the guys to get the cap pressure going. Managed to get a nice shot into that guy's lower plate. And yeah. Keep doing the same stuff. We lose a guy, but we're still capping. They're still falling back. We're now able, by the way, really important, how we managed to break this down, right? They had this really... Yeah, let's do another pause. I'm getting a bit more pausey than I expected, but I hope it's going to be interesting for you guys, actually. They had this camp which was kind of spread out with this, and these positions, right? The idea was, this guy has crossfire from these guys, and to some degree these guys if we push here. Then these guys can crossfire onto this, also take care of this, right? The heavies and the mediums in the back take care of us pushing right over the middle. And then the 113s have shots if we try to push into this. If we try to push down here, the 113s have shots and these guys shoot us in the ass. And if, for example, we would push into the 113s from here, then again, these guys and these guys would have crossfire. So they went for complete crossfire, right? However, by distracting here and noticing they didn't have enough here and rushing this, we managed to break up the link, which was this batchat and then these two mediums. Then we're able to put pressure, right? Not even with a dot, with two, like, not even that high life 113s onto these 113s here, getting them into utter chaos, I guess also with everyone in the back, right? And maybe a 50B coming. And by these guys being like in utter what the hell is going on and turning around, we're able to put pressure here with not even a lot of tanks onto what's actually more tanks, but thanks to throwing the enemy into chaos. Look at all these 113s, right? They're turning around, they're giving turret sides, they don't know where to point their front. 907s are turning around, no one is crossfiring. I'm standing in the open, no one in the back is sniping because we're putting on pressure everywhere at the same exact time, right? That's really important here. If we go somewhere, then the other place, we lose 5 tanks, and then we lose 5 tanks to a crossfire. However, by slowly figuring out where the weak spots are and then breaking up kind of their, different stages of crossfire, we're able to completely annihilate them. And actually get them cornered, circled, and although there's definitely also some luck and some RNG, and some maybe player skill in this 15-1 result, in the end. That's how it ended. I'm not gonna go show you post-game results, because I'm too fucking lazy. If I remember correctly from this game, our RT to 2.5k, their RT to nearly 7k actually. But that wasn't enough to carry. And yeah, there were no like super extraordinary results, as far as I remember. I hope you kind of learned something on how I approach Swamp in this match, and I'll show you like the small differences I implement next time we play it against them. And I hope you also remember to watch and enjoy the other videos against S4-X, and make sure to watch all my videos on my old playlist because there's so much awesome content there. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and subscribe if you enjoy.